What's up, guys? A very short update on Bitcoin. And as we are actually waiting for the volatility, because it is very, very low recently, we are still in the same range. And I would actually think that likely we are going to have a little lower low. Because again, like short term, if you look at the local picture, then there are lower highs, and it's pretty much the same zone being tested over and over again. So I doubt that it could stop at 60,000, because if we had this drop before, then yeah, it is possible. But it looks like it's too long here, so all that range should be somehow released to the like a lower area. So probably between 50 and 55,000, I would argue. And then it's interesting that if we actually look at the previous bearish market right here, then you see how the bottom was formed. There was no like a liquid capitulation phase. There is no some like a sharp V shape or L shape reversal. There was nothing like that. No strong volume appeared here. And instead of that, we saw a first accumulation like here between maybe $15,000 and $20,000. I would say between 20 and 25, something like that. And then we had another accumulation zone between 25 and 30. And then like whole thing was our accumulation phase. And then after that, we had 1 and 2 and even 3. So kind of similar thing we actually can have right here. So you can see that we might have this accumulation phase, maybe a little lower drop, and then like continuing going between 50 and 70,000 for a while. But it's interesting that if you just like what I did, if you take this pattern right here, and if like you change it a little bit, because again our top was like any close to any like normal reasonable high as you would expect for the bull market. So I just cut this part and then instead of like trimmed it by that, and then the rest looks pretty similar. You see, it looks pretty similar to what we have now. So if so, then again we would continue to go like by the maybe mid 27 and then like up from here. Could be. It looks very, very similar. So of course, like the history shouldn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. So maybe something similar like previous bear market would happen again. And also I just point out that whenever we look at the major bearish markets here, bearish phases I would say, then you can actually see the formation of a bearish channel. And if you look at some other like previous lows, or maybe like here the point of the lower shadow of this candle, you can have this almost like a wedge, descending wedge formation, and then after that breaking it, and then new bull market. Similar here, the descending channel, the wedge with this previous low, and then breaking it sideways kinda, and then bullish market again. And today the same thing, like these days, the descending channel, the wedge with the previous lows, the same, just like exactly the same as previous one. And then we already have the breaking sideways, and then quote unquote, and then we potentially can move the same way. So I don't know, but I'm optimistic. If the price goes lower, then it's a good option to buy. Finally cheaper. If the price goes up from here, then we'll be all happy. Bitcoin is the king again. Okay, guys, that is it for today. Let me see. Let me know what you think about it, and let's meet again probably next week, hopefully Monday or Tuesday. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.